So this is the $1 stereo system that I got at the junk shop. I bought a Marvin Gaye record for $1 and they gave me this in return, which was pretty cool. I bought it knowing that it was not completely working, needed a new cartridge on the needle, which was simple to replace, and it was clearly labeled with what belt it needed, so I thought, yippee, I can just buy the belt and replace it. Except that I can't seem to figure out how to do that, but I don't feel too bad because Panasonic doesn't know how to do it either. I actually talked to their US corporate headquarters. So Panasonic, perhaps some technical support on some of your more older gear. It's not exactly vintage. This is probably a late 80s model, something or other. Anyway, certainly not an audiophile piece, but it'll do the job. And I'm going to do my best to get that turntable platter off and replace that belt. It shouldn't be as hard as it's looked so far. Yeah, snappy dust cover I have right there too. Cardboard box, rock on for me. So the tuner works. This is actually a rock station I used to work for a long time ago. Good people over there at 102.1 The Fox. But now we switch over to the phono with my awesome Helen Reddy's greatest hits from when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I used to stay up all night in my room singing this. Here's what Helen is sounding like right now, though, on this record player. A little slow. Yeah, even Helen sounded a little low right there. So I put Helen back in the envelope and turned off the power there. And then what I would normally do is you lift up this little rubber thing and the platter just lifts off, except that this is an attached one. It doesn't come off. And I don't know if you can tell, when I go to lift it, it's clearly attached. It feels like the belt is just attached. Sometimes there's a little C-clamp right there you can pull out, but that's not the case on this one. So for the best I can tell, this is a press fit, and I'm either going to break it or it's going to work. But the good news is, since I have all of $1 invested in this, well, okay, $7 for a new cartridge right there. And I think I paid $11 for the new belt or vice versa. Anyway, either way, if I do break it, it's not the end of the world. Although I'm hoping this is instructive for other people who might find some flea market deals like this one. You might be able to tell it's not exactly like a floating platter like some, but you can see, hopefully it'll focus on that. I don't know why it won't focus there. Anyway, you can see that it's a little bit of a floating platter. Not, we're not talking high-end piece here, but anyway, as I lift up on it, see there's some tension holding it down, feels rubbery and floaty, but I don't want to break anything. So because that platter is still sticking in some way and the back is really easily removed, I'm going to go ahead and completely unplug this little player and see if I can see anything up in there. And if it doesn't help me out, then I'll go back to just trying to pull it straight up. But I'm a little hesitant to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this back anyway. So I did end up unscrewing the back. And it's, like a press fit up in here with this cardboard sleeve, and it comes off these little tabs. And then it occurred to me that what I really needed to do was unscrew the sides of where the platter is. So I've turned it around backwards now. So I did that, and I'm looking in here, and I realize it's like this top turntable part is one piece. So the good news is everything inside looks good, and I'm going to put that back together, and now I know that that platter just pops out. Sorry, you can't really see it that well, but so unnecessary, but learn something new. So that's good. All right, so I've got everything screwed back together. It all went together easily and it's just hand tightened, not too tight. Obviously, side panels are back on. All just pops back into place. So what I know now is that this is all like one piece that's built above here. So I'm a little nervous. As you've seen, I've demonstrated a couple times this thing. I'm going to go ahead and put the video down and pop it off. I'm going to see if I can find a way to actually film this action, since this is the whole thing I've been trying to avoid. Let me play with that for a minute and I'll be back. All right, so I know this is not super fabulously helpful, but I can stick my finger under one side, but I can't get it under both sides. I can feel that belt if I can stick just my pointer finger up under there. I can feel the belt on the edge. So I don't know what is holding this down. It probably just pops out, but boy, this makes me nervous. I'm gonna fiddle with it a little more and see if there's something a little more graceful that is gonna make it come out. Well, I'm either a genius or a complete idiot. I just stuck my hands at 12 and 6 and lifted with 2 fingers, and it literally popped off. There's the belt. There's the little plastic gears. So the good news is I haven't broken anything. The bad news is, now I gotta get it back together. I think I can do this. We're gonna see. And the belt actually looks really good. So the fact that it's spinning wonky, I may have just done a whole lot of steps that aren't gonna solve the problem. But we'll find out. So I'm actually surprised as I've gotten the platter off here. So here's the adjuster from the external for 33 versus 45. It actually has the little things you can adjust to speed up or slow down at the particular RPM, you know, when you use the little laser disc. I'm not sure if that's maybe what the problem is, but that would be weird that someone would have slowed it down to such a degree. But, I mean, stranger things have happened. But honestly, I think that was the original belt in fantastic condition that I just unnecessarily popped off. So at this point, I put the belt around the little thing. There's the little hook on the inside, and I lined up the hook with the little knob on the inside here and just mushed it all back down. I have no idea if this is going to work or not. All right, so it's plugged back in and turned on. There's no record on there, obviously. I'm just seeing what happens. Okay, so clearly I don't have it hooked up right. Because you can hear the little gear, right? All right, turn off, unplug, and lift that platter again. All right, so did exactly what I did before, but this time I think for some reason it snapped into the right spot, because at least when I lift that, it's moving, which is a huge improvement. So I'm gonna grab Helen and we'll see how she's doing. All right, so am I a woman or not? We're gonna find out. Oh, duh, gotta plug the speakers back in. Hang on. Magically, it works a lot better when you plug the speakers back in. All right, let's see what happens. Helen, are we women? Well, it's better. I'm not sure I'd go with good. All right, this could be as much that I haven't adjusted the speakers yet, because obviously it wasn't working. So let's play with this a little bit. All right, so it's spinning properly. The audio is still off, and I don't know why yet, because I haven't started fiddling with the 8,000 other things I could. So at least we know we're this far along. So yes, I'd say we are women, Helen. Rock on.